In my first Mortal Kombat 11 video, I mentioned that even though that video had over 25 Easter eggs, secrets or references, I thought that there would be more. And I wasn't wrong. In today's video, we covered 25 more Easter eggs in Mortal Kombat 11. If you're a fan of Easter eggs in video games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about, and without further delay, let's get started. So to start off, I just want to clear up an Easter egg I shared in the last video. When Raiden and Sub-Zero face each other, they say this.
I dreamt of a strange and unjust world.
With a dark knight and a caped wonder.
How could you know my dream?
Looking back, I feel like a bit of an idiot. It's obviously a reference to the fact that both Raiden and Sub-Zero were DLC characters in Injustice 2. I don't know how I could have missed this one, but hopefully this clears that particular Easter egg up. Right, moving on to some new Easter eggs now. We've already covered 4 or 5 references to the Mortal Kombat movie, but it turns out there are a couple we missed. The first of which can be heard when you have Raiden face Liu Kang.
I guess you knew it would end this way.
I did not have a clue.
Never change, Lord Raiden.
That intro is a reference to this scene from the Mortal Kombat movie.
I guess you knew it would end this way. Didn't have a clue.
Another reference to the film can be found when customizing Johnny Cage. The glasses, called $500 sunglasses, are a reference to the scene where Johnny Cage fought Goro.
Those are $500 sunglasses, asshole.
The final reference to the movie can't be seen, instead it can be heard. Listen to this. So, on the tournament stage, you can hear the iconic main theme from the Mortal Kombat film. You know, this one. This is an awesome addition, and I'm glad to see NetherRealm embrace the movie. Oh, and whilst we're on that stage, you can spot 4 Mortal Kombat arcade cabinets. Those cabinets being MKX, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, and finally Mortal Kombat Deception. Moving on from the Mortal Kombat movie now, and it's time to take a look at even more references found within the character intros. Loads of you messaged me on Instagram or Twitter with suggestions for these, so I'll list as many of you as possible at the end of the video. First up is this interaction between Geras and Johnny Cage.
I have seen things you will not believe.
Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion?
Time to die.
That intro is a reference to the final scene from the 1982 film Blade Runner.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion.
The next film reference, which seems strangely out of place, can be heard when 2 Cabals fight.
I've always said life's like an armed robbery. You never know who you're gonna kill. Run, Cabal, run.
This one is pretty obvious, but in case you didn't get it, it's a reference to this famous line from Forrest Gump.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Come on, let's get in the way, move it! Run, Forrest, run!
So this next reference isn't as obvious as the other intros we've covered so far, but when Sonya fights herself, she mentions that she lives in a future governed by evil AI, which is almost certainly a reference to the Terminator movies.
Which history are you from? One governed by an evil AI. Here we got evil SOBs.
I mean, it may not be, but with all the movie references we've seen in Mortal Kombat 11 so far, I'd like to think it is. So if you guys thought that one was a bit of a stretch, then you're going to love this one. When Johnny fights Frost, he'll say this.
What's up, Frosty the Snow Chick?
Your time, Cage.
Clever girl.
Clever Girl is a line which has been referenced in games before, usually a nod to this scene from Jurassic Park.
Clever girl.
If I'm honest, I personally don't think this one is a reference, but I thought I'd share it with you guys and let you decide. This next clip is under no debate though. If you pit Johnny against Scarlet, Johnny will say this.
What's that, Scarlet?
The gods as my witness, I'll never go thirsty again.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Johnny's final sentence is a reference to this scene from the classic film Gone with the Wind.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
The final Johnny intro is heard when he faces off against Kotal Khan.
You just need a cop, a sailor, and a cowboy.
For what, Johnny Cage?
Only the greatest disco reboot ever.
So this one is pretty funny. Johnny is referencing the song YMCA performed by the Village People. In the music video for the song, the band were dressed up as a Native American, a policeman, a cowboy, and a builder among others. The reason Johnny references this is the way that Kotal stands during his intro, with his arms in the shape of a Y. I'm sure you all know the dance to the YMCA, so hopefully this one makes sense. Moving on from introduction dialogue references to introduction text references. One of the intros you can unlock for Cassie Cage involves her texting people before the fight. There's loads of references in these texts, but these are some of my favourites. Up first is this one. That message was sent by Mocap, a character who first appeared in the Mortal Kombat series in Deadly Alliance. Mocap was literally a guy in a motion capture suit who could fight. Since his debut in Deadly Alliance, Mocap has had cameo roles in MK Deception and MK Unchained, and was last seen as a playable fighter in MK Armageddon. You can also spot Mocap's name in another one of Cassie's intros. It can be seen on her cup here. The next text of interest is this one. This text was sent by somebody called Rhonda, which is almost certainly a reference to ex-UFC fighter and current WWE wrestler Ronda Rousey, who voices Cassie's mum, Sonya, in the game. This next text is from somebody called Noobda. Noobda is actually the Twitter name of series creator Ed Boon. You see, it's Ed Boon spelled backwards. This text is probably my favourite of them all. So this one has a reference to the fact that the voice actor for Raiden in MK11, Richard Epcar, also voiced the Joker in the Injustice series. Of course, the "Why So Serious" line is a line made famous by Heath Ledger's interpretation of the Joker in The Dark Knight. The final reference I've found within the texts is this one. That text is almost certainly a reference to the Cartoon Network show Samurai Jack. So this next clip isn't really an Easter egg, but I'd wager that a lot of people won't know about it. If you manage to defeat your opponent at the finish him screen, if you hold the change stance button, which is L2 on PS4 and left trigger on Xbox, and tap down 3 times, then let go of the trigger, you will grant your opponent mercy. Here, check it out.
Finish him.
Smile.
This is a way of rubbing salt into the wound of an opponent. You're basically saying, I've beaten you once, I can do it again. As I said, not an Easter egg, but still pretty cool. In the previous MK11 video, we took a trip to the Krypt to discover Goro's dining room. Well, it turns out that the Krypt has many more secrets for us to find. Up first is the death of Ermac. You can also find the body of Kenshi.
Behold the final resting place of Kenshi Takehashi. Valiant and brave, he was an excellent warrior, which made feeding on his soul most enjoyable.
And finally Reptile, who as of yet isn't a playable character in the game. I mean, they even use his MKX model in this game, so I doubt we'll be getting him as DLC. The final Easter egg in this video is found in one of Johnny's victory poses. Take a look and see if you can guess the reference. So, did you get it? I may be reading too much into it, but the Johnny action figure has Cassie's name on its foot, which immediately made me think of Woody from Toy Story, who has Andy's name written on his boot. What do you think? Easter egg or not? So that's it. 25 more Easter eggs, secrets and references in Mortal Kombat 11. Again, if you think I've missed anything, then please let me know. The best place to do so is on Twitter or Instagram. The links to both will be in the description. Thank you to all the people on screen now for taking the time to message me Easter eggs and theories. It really is appreciated. If you're a fan of Easter eggs in video games, then perhaps consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.